Okay, we're good.
The lights might be too bright though. How does
Is
it
it
look
too
on
bright?
yours?
Looks okay.
Alright, let's get started.
If it's too bright, I can take one down. Or turn one off.
Click that one down a little bit.
Is that better?
Well, it'll show up right now. Intrigue me? We will, I promise. Where you been at? I haven't seen you training in a while. I was looking at your camera instead of mine.
Oh. Well, you're the man of the hour today.
Uh-huh.
Well, that camera thing that you got there is pretty cool.
Looks good, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, so this is what it looks like. Bear with us. We got some new equipment that we're trying to figure out, and then we'll jump into the tax information, the credit information, the real estate information, and everything else. Maybe even some bite information. Who knows? We'll see. Give us 1 minute. Yeah, it looks a little weird, right?
On yours? Yes. It's that camera, bro.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
That lens that you got, yeah. Like mine. Can you see mine?
Maybe it's this, because it looks good on here.
I know. I don't know.
Too much?
I have no idea, bro.
Alright. So I don't even come out of yours.
I know. I don't know why. You did right. You did earlier.
Or just
See, right here you do.
amateur hour. Just kidding. No, we're good. We're good.
We'll get it together soon. Sooner than later.
Alright. You got Guadalupe joining us. Mr. Bachman.
That name's
Thank you for tuning in. He's the one that's always giving you crap on your
Oh,
hair.
yeah. How's the hair today?
Yeah. Michelle Padilla, Andy, thank you guys for joining. Let's go ahead and get started.
All right, go for it. You sure?
Yeah. How long has you been running?
Where? This one?
Yeah, just muted.
Oh, no wonder why I was like, why am I hearing?
Yeah. All right.
That sounded weird.
Facebook live stream officially starting. What is this? Number 3, number 4? I think it's number 4.
Together, 3.
Together 3. So is
And
this
then I don't.
4?
You've done. No.
Maybe
this is
it's
the third
my
one.
4th.
This is the third one.
It's my 4th. We got people tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like always, the whole goal here is just to every time get progressively just a little bit better.
Just a little bit.
And hopefully more viewers. My goal for this one in particular is 400 total views, 20 likes, and 20 comments. What about you?
I didn't really have a number, but we're gonna go with as many as we can.
like that.
If it's one more view, then I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. If it's one more
Yeah.
comment, one more like, I'm okay with that too. So
Originally we started with, let's have at least one person join in.
right.
And then by the second episode, we had at least, 10 tuning in?
Yeah.
So things are going good, but we're always trying to push that envelope, trying to do a little bit better. In particular for today, just to get into the information, we're going to be going over 3 ways to raise your credit score in as little as 30 days, based on our experiences and from the experts themselves. We're also going to touch a little bit on tax, what to do with that tax refund before you get too spend happy.
Don't buy the car yet.
Not
Wait
yet.
on the car. Wait
Not
on the
yet.
car.
The car will come later. Take
Yes,
care
yes.
of the home first.
Yes.
Remember,
What's
happy
up, Joe?
wife, happy life.
That's right.
You
And
know?
if you don't have a wife, still get a house anyways.
To get a wife.
There
You know what I mean? Back home, we call that a keeper. Guy with a house, no kids, eligible bachelor.
There you go.
Well, most of our audience probably is men anyway, so that makes sense.
What's up, Joe?
But Eddie Alcantar, thank you for joining. Eddie
I'm gonna take some camera
Alcantar, one of our
pictures.
guys from back home, NL Central, also working for Wallach and Bulk. Thanks for tuning in. So real quick, let's get into the meat of it. It's tax season, people, so use your refund to jumpstart your down payment savings. I'm going to be reading off these scripts today, for today's purposes, because we got a lot to go over. And hopefully we won't spend more than 20 minutes live this time. I know we always say that, we always go a little bit more, but hey, it is what it is. Like I said, every time we get a little bit better and better and better. So, according to data released by the IRS, Americans can expect an estimated average refund of, you ready? $2,840. Now, this is according to the IRS and their internal data. $2,840 this year when filing your taxes. Tax refunds are often thought of extra money that can be used towards larger goals, not the car, not that bracelet. For today's purposes, we're talking about a home.
Yes.
For anyone looking to buy a home in 2018, this can be a great jumpstart towards your down payment. And we actually have a little map that shows state by state, on average, how much that tax refund is. And since I'm licensed in Arizona and California, in California, on average, for 2018, it is expected that Californians will get roughly $2,809 in that tax refund. For Arizona, it's a little bit less, $2,640 for the average person. So that's $2,809 for California, $2,640 for Arizona. United States as a whole, on average, $2,895. So both states are a little bit lower than the national average, but it still looks good.
Yeah.
Many first-time home buyers believe that 20% down payment is required to qualify for a home and a mortgage. What do we know about that?
That is false.
It is false, ladies and gentlemen.
You don't need 20% down.
You don't. So, programs from the Federal Housing Authority, Freddie Mac, and Fannie Mae allow for down payment as low as 3%.
Yes.
Now, there is some truth to that, but there's more. Here in Arizona, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac also have 0% down. Down payment assistance programs.
That's right.
Now, the only thing about down payment assistance programs is the trade-off. What are you trading off for that grant money that the state gives you? One is a little hard to get into. You do have to meet some eligibility requirements, but they just restructured the loans and the programs that give this free money, these free funds to people to use for down payment at a cost. And that cost is a higher interest rate that you are tied to for 3 years, meaning that you can't refinance for 3 years.
Which they used to do last year and the years before.
No, before you used to be able to
could.
refinance in 90 days.
That's what I'm saying. So now they can't. If you go get a down payment assistance program, you got to stick with that interest rate for a minimum of 3 years. Is that correct?
And these programs are usually a whole point higher. But yes, you are right.
Okay.
So right now, these programs are closing in on a 6% interest rate. Again, it's a trade-off. They're giving you the funds for the down payment so you can get into a home, but they are tying you down to that higher interest rate, where it could be up to a whole point higher.
Which makes a big difference.
A huge difference in monthly payment, and it doesn't really feel good that you get tied down to it. What we used to have people do is they would get into these programs, get the funds, and in as little as 90 days, refinance out to a much lower rate, much less of a monthly payment. But at least the programs allow you to get your foot into the door for homeownership. But those are the state programs, and know that the 20% rule is a big misconception. Although it is good to always put 20% down, it's better for you in the long term and in the short term. There are 3 and 3.5% programs out there by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and FHA.
Correct. And 20% down will take care of the private mortgage insurance. Is that correct?
Yes. And that's
another plus besides lowering the down payment. Not the down payment, lowering the monthly mortgage payment. You also take care of the private mortgage insurance.
Yeah. So
which is a plus.
What he's referring to is it's a segment of the monthly payment. Should you pay less than 20% down on your mortgage, you will 95% most likely have mortgage insurance. And that can range, and their rates change on the daily, just a lot like our rates do. So usually 20% down gets rid of that requirement, and people have less of a monthly payment. Yep. But going back into the down payment and your tax refund, so the whole goal is to kind of nurture, grow that tax refund. And based on the the state average for Arizona, and the average median price. So remember, we had just talked about that in Arizona, you're expected to get $2,640 back. If you started your down payment savings with your tax refund check this year, by the average tax refund, by taking into account the median price of homes sold in Arizona, that money back would cover up to 37% of a home here in Arizona based on the median price.
Yep.
Does that
Which
make
is
sense?
a-
Did I explain that correctly?
I hope so. So basically what you're saying is, going off all the averages that the IRS gave us, it's just telling you that it can cover up to 37% just based on averages.
Yes.
But
Yes.
case by case.
You know what? I'll read the sentence because I actually have it structured out here. I don't know why I try to wing it.
Okay, there
So
you go,
for
read it.
those in Arizona looking to purchase their first homes, their tax refund could potentially get them 37% closer to that dream.
There you go.
Is that better?
Yes, sure.
We're working on it. We're working on it. Mental note taken. Save that for next time. Bottom line, saving for a down payment can seem like a daunting task, but the more you know about what's required, the more prepared you can be to make the best decision for you and your family. This tax season, your refund could be your key to homeownership.
Yep.
And that's the goal here, ladies and gentlemen. And that takes care of that tax segment. Any final thoughts, comments, questions on taxes?
No, not really. I mean, I think every person should basically weigh their options. Do I use my down payment refund if you got one, so you put down for a house and avoid the 6% or close to it, and get the down payment assistance program? So kind of weigh out the options, because obviously if you go with the down payment assistance programs, your payment's going to be higher, and it's not just for right now. It's 3 years, so that's going to make a difference.
And
for
it's
sure.
fair play to ask me, Adrian, what are the two scenarios? What do the two scenarios look like? Give me a scenario where we do a down payment assistance program, and that's the Arizona state programs that we just mentioned, versus that minimum down payment. And who knows, based on those numbers, you might be like, hey, let's do the 20% down. I know people that are like that. You know, they have that mattress money.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And they're like,
A lot
okay.
of you do. A lot of you do.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But also on taxes, get with your CPA, get with a professional, make sure you're doing them correctly, and make sure that professional is doing them correctly. A lot of people like to not claim everything, right? But as we know, when you do that, you hurt yourself because it hurts your purchasing power when you do want to qualify for a home.
When you have too many expenses is what you're saying.
When you show too little of income.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that gross income number at the bottom of the first page is one of the key components that we look at as a lender as to what your purchasing power could be. For more details on taxes, more details on down payment assistance versus conventional or FHA financing for a home, message us.
Yeah.
You can either message
questions?
Luis or myself, and we'll get you rolling in the right direction.
We're getting to the good stuff?
Now we're getting to the good stuff.
Yeah, everybody wants to know about this.
Everybody wants to know about credit and their credit score.
And they
First
should.
thing.
They should. They
Yeah,
should know
but
about credit. Because I mean, in the U.S., to be honest, I mean it's about credit, right?
It
I mean,
is.
if you have bad credit or you have low credit, whatever.
Even if you want to rent these days.
I know.
If you want to rent these days, they run your credit report.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people ask me, well, I want to rent a house and this and that, but when I tell them, well, they're going to run your credit, and they usually look for a 600 credit score, and if you're not there, it's going to be tough to get that house.
Or it's just going to not be in the best terms for your pocket.
Exactly.
There are people out there that will be willing to lend you the money at a premium, right? Because they're taking on that risk.
Yes.
Essentially, if you have a low credit score, it kind of says this person doesn't really know how to manage their finances, doesn't make payments on time, has late payments, has a lot of inquiries, and other things of that nature, derogatory events.
Yeah.
Don't be late. Actually, we're going to get into those details. We're going to get into those details.
Let's get into it.
But let me take a second to look at
Questions.
the questions.
All
If
right.
we have any, we love it when you guys post
Yes.
questions. In fact, we prefer when you guys post questions because it helps us out a lot, and it helps the video out a lot. Don't ask me how the science works behind how Facebook figures this out, but we know it does work.
Yes.
So we'll take a question and look to see everybody that tuned in, give you guys a shout out, and answer any questions. All right. Oh, this is not good. Hold on.
This is not good.
All right, so we got a lot of people tuning in. Jocelyn, you make me so proud. Love Elliot. So that's from Elliot Tag. Elliot, thank you for the shout out. Lolo, new purse. Is there a purse here somewhere?
I have no idea.
New purse.
New purse. I don't know.
Not sure what you mean by new purse, but
Sure.
so informative. Thank you, Matt Sumatea. Madeline Desert, I'm here. Joseph Perez, lower interest rates over everything. And somebody liked that comment.
Nice.
Yes, I agree. Lower
Everybody
interest
wants
rate
those,
is good. Great program to get first-time home buyers in a home. Oh. Wait, is she commenting on the Arizona down payment probably?
Yeah. They might be. I don't know.
Yeah, so a great program. It is a great program to get your foot into the door of homeownership. Yes. Again, the plan is to maybe only stay there 3 years or outweigh the option of what does me being stuck in that program for 3 years look like versus me actually coming out of pocket the 3%.
You know what? Quick question on that.
Yeah.
Could they sell?
I don't think so. I think you have to.
You're tied down 3 years.
Yeah, I think you have to.
From what it sounds like,
yeah.
but I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Because
so you don't get me wrong. You can do it, but there is a penalty. Okay. I haven't since these changes are new for 2018. We haven't had anybody that had to do that yet.
I mean, we're only March 1st.
Yeah,
right? So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think people will follow the rules because there is a penalty should you resell or refinance that property, and hopefully nobody does that.
Yeah. Or if you do, talk to us first before you do all that.
Guy on the right is as intelligent as he is handsome. Danny Jones, thank you, sir. Coming from you, probably the most handsome person I know. Tree Man, aka Tree Man.
Cool
thank
nicknames.
you, sir. Thank you.
Cool
Mallory,
nicknames.
Jill Davis, Laura Gonzalez. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hi, Mallory. Haven't seen you guys in a long time. Thank you for commenting. Joe Perez, how can we check my FICO score? We're gonna get into that right now. Are you related to Cesar Hernandez? Who's that guy? No.
Who knows?
Jocelyn Luker, creditkarma.com, Joe Elliott, Matthew Sumateo, what is the best way for a hypothetical 28-year-old man to move out of his parents' basement asking for a friend? I love that. Thank you for the honesty, for being honest with your friend.
Right.
I was like that not too long ago either. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm 6 foot tall, but 6'1" if I stand on my wallet. Run that down payment 20%. Oh God, you're being a little wild today. All right, so that takes care of my comments. Thanks again, guys, for commenting and tuning in. Anything on your end that we got to answer real quick?
No, I think everybody's waiting for
the FICO information.
Yes.
All right, so there are really 6 ways to increase your credit score. I know on the title of this video we put 3, but
bonus 3 more.
Should we go through all 6?
Do you want to?
We might have to.
Okay.
You kind of put it out there now.
Hey, well, you said 6. You mentioned it.
I know, but I was going to do like a call to action, like for the other 3, message me and.
Well, let's see how much time we got.
I'm gonna have to go through all 6 now.
No, you can just do 3.
Credit, increasing your credit score. Everybody needs to do it. I don't care if you have a great credit score. Pay attention to it. Nurture it, man. It's like a fire. You got to keep attention to it, or else it's gonna go out and it's gonna go down. So, top 3 ways to increase your credit score. Number 1 thing is pay down your revolving balances. Pay off, if possible, at least pay down to 30%. Now again, little disclaimer, I did talk to some experts, local experts, Mandy at Go Clean Credit, thank you for some of the information, and Lydia at Cisco. I compiled what they sent me, and these are the things that more or less are magic numbers or balance numbers, things to do that will increase your FICO score in as little as 30 days. So again, number 1 thing is pay down revolving balances, not too high, or for the love of God, do not go over the balance high credit limit. Pay off possible, at least pay down to 30%. Everybody does agree that paying your balances to that 30% amount is more or less that magic number. So just to give you an idea on easy numbers, if your high credit limit is $100, pay it down to $29, pay that balance down to $29, and keep it there, and your credit score will start reporting healthy increases month by month, and this will be an immediate change within the first billing cycle in those 30 days. And number 2, remove a recent late payment. Call the creditor and ask for goodwill adjustment. What they mean by this is if you don't have a record of doing this, and everybody makes mistakes. I know I've had a mistake before where I was out of the country. I was actually in Australia with a buddy of mine, and something happened where my car payment didn't go through. It didn't go through, so I called Toyota, and I said, you know what, I was out of the country, this was going on. They said, you know what, Mr. Hernandez, you don't have a history of doing this. We're going to remove this late payment off your report. And that was huge.
That's awesome.
That's huge.
Good.
So if you do run into that, give them a call. What's it going to hurt? You know, as long as you don't have like
I
5
know,
previous
right?
lates.
Like,
Like,
hey.
hey, dude, come on.
You've been calling every month, man.
Yeah, you've been calling every month. Yeah,
Yeah, so
or
don't do that.
you can also take the time to adjust the payment window. Adjust it, make automatic payments so you know that those funds are going to be there to be withdrawn from your account.
Good info.
All right. So they also made a note here on that number 2, remove a recent late payment, call creditor and ask for goodwill adjustment. Side note, it will take persistence.
So you got to haggle. You can't just
Yeah,
ask once. I mean, you got to be a little bit more.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Remember, this is your credit score. Fight for it. Fight for it.
Exactly. Yes. Fight for your
Number
credit
3.
score.
So we'll just touch over the other 2 real quick. Number 1 was, one thing is pay down every revolving balance. Number 2 is remove a recent late payment by calling the creditor.
Mm-hmm.
And number 3 is remove collections accounts. So collections are accounts that you didn't pay on, and now they're being reported as collections or sold off to a different agency to try to collect those funds, those debts from you as the borrower, as the person that has that liability. So 3 points on removing collection account. Do not just pay a collection. A paid collection usually doesn't help the score. And what they mean by that is paying it isn't going to increase your score. Though a lot of people get confused, and I can understand why, is credit and your FICO score, it's a systematic system. It's not logical. In our mind, if we pay something down, if we pay down a liability, if we pay down a debt, if we pay down this money that we owe, it should help. But in some cases, especially with collections, paying it down actually hurts your score. And I can get into the details as to why, but for today's
Doesn't
purposes,
matter.
we're not going
Yeah, it
to,
doesn't
right?
matter. Yeah.
So paying down the collection, but make sure you talk to the creditor, negotiate with them, say, hey, I can give you this today, or I could pay the half of it today up front, but I need this deleted from my account, and make sure to get that promise, because these creditors usually are willing to work with you, because remember, they want something.
Right.
They want something, and if they do agree to take the collection payment for a deletion, make sure you get it in writing, and do not make any payment until you get it in writing. That way, should anything come up where the collection doesn't get deleted, you have something to reference to.
Yep.
And those are the 3 things. I could go 3 more. Should we go 3 more?
We're already at 22, 23 minutes.
Ooh,
it's
looks like-
almost 7 o'clock.
Yeah, looks like we're at that limit, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. So those are top 3 things
Top
to
3.
help you out. One more time, it's number 1 thing is pay down revolving balances. Keep those balances down, preferably under that 30% magic number. If you have $100 in credit limit, pay it down to $29. Remove a recent late payment. Call the creditor and ask for the adjustment. If it's your first late, they are willing to forgive you. Number 3 is remove collections accounts, but do not just pay it down and expect it to increase your score. Pay it down. Call the creditor first,
call.
negotiate that deletion, get it in writing, and then make any necessary payment to move forward. And that
Awesome.
takes care of that for now. So we went over taxes, we went over credit. What else?
That's
What
it.
else is
So
new?
well, one more thing that people want to know is how do they check their credit
Yes,
score?
yes,
So
yes.
we're going to go through them real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. One of them, annualcreditreport.com. The second one, privacyguard.com. But that one actually has a charge to it if you want to do that one. Creditchecktotal.com. That one also has a fee to it. Credit Karma, which is very popular, the one that I use myself. That one's free, and I actually do recommend that one. Just because I use it and I haven't used the other ones. And then there's also myfico.com, and that one is also has a charge. But I think we can put everything together, and if you guys would like, we can send them to you.
Yeah, if you
Right.
want this more detail, easier to understand, more or less like a guide,
Yep, a guide.
send us a private message. Send us a private message.
or comment. I
Or
want the
comment.
guide or something like
comment.
that. Right?
And we can send you a PDF version of this guide with details and all you need to know, basic information,
Yep.
make it easy to understand. So now what I'm going to do, I know you're getting some comments on yours, maybe some questions. I'm going to take a minute to answer the questions on here. And then we'll
I don't have
we'll
much
close it
questions.
down.
There's a lot of people just joining. But go ahead, answer the question
So
that you have.
the question was, Matthew Sumateo, what is the best way for a hypothetical 28-year-old man to move out of his parents' basement asking for a friend? You want to take this one?
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. You have experience with that.
Yeah, I guess I would
You
have to
experience with
ask.
that.
I would have to ask what's keeping you from getting out of the basement.
I know,
You know?
right? Must be a party going on down there. Must have some good times.
Are you helping mom and dad out? Let's put it this way. If you're in that situation and you want to move out, but feel you don't have the funds necessary to move out, hey, start saving.
Yes.
Start saving, get married. Dual incomes will
There you
make it
go.
work. No, I'm just kidding. A worst case scenario is you don't have funds, you want to get out of that house, and you have no necessary obligation to be in that house. Your parents will be fine on their own. Maybe down payment assistance is the right route for you.
Correct.
And we can get you into that. Again, down payment assistance programs, and they are in California also. Most states have their own down payment assistance programs, and they're all a little bit different. So California, Arizona, I know for a fact, because I'm licensed there, that they do have these down payment assistance programs. And for the hypothetical 28-year-old man living in his parents' basement, that might be the best way to go about it to get into a home. Should credit be an issue, there are also ways to more or less expedite a healthy credit history in 30 to 90 days.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any more questions?
That might be it for me.
Yeah. I don't have any
Thanks
questions,
everyone for tuning
Thank
in.
you. Yes,
Again,
thank you very
if
much.
you have questions, comments on credit,
Do you want this guy? Message.
message, private message.
Comments. You will get it from us. Just let us know that you want it, and we'll send it over.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you guys. We really
That's a
appreciate
wrap
it.
for us today. Have a good day, everyone. Until next time. See ya.